Fanatics also reported a 100% increase in sales for WNBA specific merchandise. It started with Caitlin Clark. And so now that we know all of this, and we've known that for months, now we get to turn around and look and see what exactly is it that the league will do, knowing that she's out for the next 2 weeks. I'm not saying I know for sure what's going to happen, but I have an idea.
Just when it seemed like the WNBA was finally getting it right, just when it looked like they were ready to ride the golden wave that is Caitlin Clark straight into the promised land of mainstream relevance and financial success, they let this happen. And by this, I mean the injury that has every basketball fan, sports analyst, and yes, even Stephen A. Smith himself, absolutely losing their mind.
Fortunately though, the celebration in the WNBA, it was cut short yesterday afternoon as WNBA players learned the harsh lesson: be careful what you wish for. Headline at the New York Post: Caitlin Clark sidelined with Indiana Felines announcing shock injury. Keyword: shock. This injury was shocking, but not for reasons that you may
Caitlin Clark, the woman who single-handedly turned women's basketball from a niche sport your hoops-obsessed cousin watches into must-see TV, is now sidelined with a left quad strain in minimum 2 weeks. They say that's 2 long weeks of the WNBA trying to act like losing their biggest star, their golden goose, their literal ratings magnet. Won't send viewership numbers crashing faster than a house of cards in a hurricane.
Everybody was moving Caitlin Clark games to bigger facilities because everyone was selling tickets. There were ratings. It was a ratings bonanza. Now with Caitlin Clark not playing, what do? Well, when you change your situs, guess what? You can't change it back.
Yep. The tickets are literally half the price, and there are entire sections of the stadium that have not sold any tickets.
And who's the first person to absolutely explode over this? Who's the first to call out the insanity of the situation? None other than Stephen A. Smith, the man who's been defending Caitlin Clark since day one, while half the WNBA establishment acted like she was just some basketball tourist who accidentally wandered into their league.
Thanks to Clark, Indiana led the league in attendance both at home and on the road. The Fever averaged 17,035 fans at home and over 15,000 on the road. 4 teams moved home games to bigger arena came to town to accommodate more fans. How do we know this? Attendance for the entire league was up nearly 50% last year. According to data from across the timeline, and Indiana led all teams with an average attendance of 17,035. That was up 319% from the year earlier.
Stephen A. didn't just comment on Caitlin Clark's injury, he went absolutely nuclear, and honestly, it's about time someone did, while everyone else tiptoes around the obvious, trying to stay politically correct and pretending Caitlin Clark isn't literally carrying the WNBA on her back. Stephen A. is out here dropping truth bombs that would make a mathematician weep with joy. When asked about the impact of Clark's injury, he didn't hold back. We'll find out. We don't know yet, he said, but I'm going to be really interested in seeing what kind of effect this has on the WNBA's ratings. Because if, for some reason, there is a precipitous drop-off, then everybody needs to stand down.
We'll find out. We don't know yet, but I'm going to be really interested in seeing, Molly, what kind of effect this has on the WNBA's ratings. Because if for some reason there is a precipitous drop-off, then everybody needs to stand down and recognize the fact that the speculation or the assertions and assumptions about her being the golden goose is valid.
If you're enjoying this, smash that subscribe button. And oh, Stephen A. Smith, you beautiful, logical genius, you nailed it. Because this is exactly what's about to unfold. The man's practically sitting courtside with a stopwatch, waiting to document the exact second the WNBA realizes it's been ignoring its golden goose while wondering why the nest is emptied. It's like watching someone complain about being broke while sitting next to a pot of gold, and Steven's just standing there yelling, the gold is right there. Let's talk numbers, because apparently some folks in the WNBA front office skipped math class and marketing. Games with Caitlin Clark this season are averaging 1.178 million viewers. Games without her? A sad, barely breathing 394,000. That's not just a difference. That's a 199% gap, wide enough to drive a freight train, a bus, and the entire Indiana Fever roster through it.to make it real simple for even the most calculator-phobic exec. Clark's games are pulling in 3 times the viewers.
Became the first rookie with at least 25 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds in a playoff game. That was Caitlin Clark. Became the 4th different rookie to play all 40 minutes in a playoff game. That was her. I'm looking at other things. 6 different league television partners. This is last year. This is last season, because this is Caitlin Clark that we're talking about. 6 different league television partners set viewership records that year, her rookie year, for its highest viewed WNBA game. Do you know every one of those games included the Indiana Fever?
But here's where it gets really spicy, folks. Stephen A. Smith isn't just upset about Caitlin Clark's injury, he's been waiting for this moment. This is a man who's watched the WNBA fumble the bag in real time when it comes to handling its biggest star. That he's seen legends like Cheryl Swoops treat Clark like an outsider instead of the savior the league desperately needed. He's watched Commissioner Kathy Engelbert respond with lukewarm statements when the situation screamed for ticker tape parades. And now, with Clark sidelined, Stephen A. is essentially throwing on his gold jacket, grabbing the mic, and saying, "I told you so," in full, dramatic fashion. That he didn't mince words. If the speculation, the assertions, the assumptions about her being the golden goose are validated by this ratings drop, then everyone needs to stand down, accept it, and ride that wave. Rising tide lifts all boats. Translation? The WNBA's ratings are about to crater, and Stephen A. is standing by with the receipts, ready to wield those numbers like a sledgehammer on every player, exec, or critic who's been too proud, or too stubborn, to recognize what's been obvious since day one. Caitlin Clark is the wave. Ride it or get washed out.
Know what she brings to the table. But people wanted to hate because why? You had a bunch of players in this league that watched this young white girl come along and take the league by storm, and they resented it because they saw the marketing prowess that she had. They ignored the fact that you got chartered flights because of this girl. They ignored the fact that ratings were going through the roof because of this girl. Instead, they resented it because they said, yo, we were doing stuff long before Caitlin Clark got here, and y'all wasn't paying attention then. But now the young white girl comes along and y'all want to sit up there and shower all of this praise and all of this attention that was earned before she ever came along. They're understandable, but it's not about Caitlin Clark. It's about what she represents. My point is,
rewind for a moment and talk about how we got here. When Caitlin Clark...
Let's rewind for a moment and break down how we got here. When Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA, she didn't just join the league, she became a one-woman economic stimulus package. Take the season opener between Clark's Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky. It drew 2.7 million viewers on ABC, the most watched WNBA game ever on ESPN platforms. That number isn't just impressive, it's borderline miraculous for a league that's been clawing for relevance for over 2 decades. But here's the kicker. Instead of the WNBA brass falling to their knees, thanking every basketball deity for delivering this gift, what did we get? Lukewarm press releases. Generic social media posts. It was like they were embarrassed by their own success, too scared to admit that one player could move the needle that much. Stephen A. Smith saw all this unfolding in real time and has been quietly building toward a volcanic eruption of frustration. He's watched Clark break viewership records, pack arenas, and drive the WNBA into the mainstream spotlight, all while some players and pundits acted like she didn't deserve the attention. ****.